Hello and welcome to Housing TV News at the top of the hour, coming to you from our studios here in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Dorcas Chia. At top stories, Nigerian Army reaffirms professionalism, human rights commitment at Wasa in Niger State. Nigerian Air Force neutralizes terrorists in Bornu, provides close air support to ground troops. Benue governor orders action on Makurdi slaughterhouse controversy. On the foreign scene, we'll be looking at the UK, France considering social media ban for children and teenagers. And now the news in detail. The Nigerian Army says it will continue to carry out security operations with professionalism while upholding human rights in Niger State. The Commander, Training and Doctrine Command of the Nigerian Army, TRADOC, Major General Peter Mala, gave the assurance during the 2025 West African Social Activities WASA. Addressing the gathering, the TRADOC Commander, Major General Peter Mala, described the 2025 operational year as successful, noting that troops carried out their duties with professionalism and benefited from cooperation with host communities.
That the Nigerian Army, under the able leadership of the Chief of Army Staff, will continue to observe human rights in accordance with the best international practices, to respect and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, while discharging its constitutional roles in a professional and responsible manner, as encapsulated in the Chief of Army Staff Command philosophy.
For the Niger State government, the event was described as more than a social gathering, but a platform to strengthen civil-military relations and boost troop morale.
The insecurity situation we are facing, you have been able to crave time to make this WASA a fruition. This means a lot to us. We want to thank men and women of the Nigerian Armed Forces for their commitment to security of lives and property of our citizens. In Niger State, the armed forces have continued to repel in the upfront and upfront to make sure that we live peacefully.
The event featured cultural dances, tug-of-war contest, award presentations to outstanding personnel, and the traditional beating of the retreat, symbolizing unity and discipline within the military community. The Kano State Police Command has arrested 3 suspected masterminds behind the gruesome killing of a housewife and her 6 children in Durai Cheranchi Kotas, Kano State. According to a statement issued by the police public relations officer Abdullahi Haruna, the suspects were arrested in the early hours of Sunday following a sting operation that lasted several hours. Police say the leader of the syndicate, Umar Awalu, confessed to the crime and admitted that the group has carried out similar attacks in the past. Items recovered from the suspects include blood-stained clothing, 2 mobile phones belonging to the deceased, a cutlass, a club locally known as Gora, cash, and other dangerous weapons. Meanwhile, the police reveals that investigations are ongoing and the public will be updated as developments unfold. The Anambra State Police Command has arrested a 28-year-old suspect Friday, Akonobi, in connection with the abduction and murder of a 6-year-old girl. Police operatives attached to the Rapid Response Squad, Azuku, arrested the suspect in the early hours following credible intelligence. Reports revealed that the suspect allegedly confessed to committing the crime alongside 4 other accomplices who are currently at large. Meanwhile, police confirmed that the said native doctor has since been arrested by operatives of the Enugu State Police Command. However, the Anambra State Police Command says efforts are ongoing to arrest the remaining suspects and assures the public that all those involved will be brought to justice. Away from that story, the Nigerian Air Force has provided decisive close air support to ground troops during coordinated operations in Azee and Musaram areas of Borno State, neutralizing several terrorists. The operations carried out were conducted under the air component of Operation Hadinkai. Nigerian Air Force craft swiftly responded to a real-time distress report from troops engaged with terrorists in Azia. Air crew identified fleeing insurgents attempting to regroup under tree cover and engaged them in multiple passes, neutralizing several targets. Reacting to the success, the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sunday Kelvin Nike, reaffirmed the Air Force commitment to providing timely and effective support to ground troops and sustaining pressure on terrorist elements until peace is restored. The Sultanate Council has directed Muslims across Nigeria to begin the sighting of the crescent moon of Sa'aban 1447 today. The directive was contained in a statement signed by Professor Sambo Junaidu, the Wazir in Sokoto and the chairman of the Advisory Committee on Religious Affairs. According to the statements, the date coincides with the 28th day of Rajab, traditionally set aside for moon sighting, to determine the start of the new Islamic month. However, Muslims are urged to report any confirmed sighting to their district or village heads for onward transmission to the Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar. Meanwhile, the council described moon sighting as a significant religious obligation and called for sincerity and diligence in the exercise. We'll now take a pause here, and up next are news stories from the build sector. Do stay with us.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts. On Facebook, Housing TV Africa. On Twitter, Housing TV Africa. Instagram, Housing TV Africa.
Welcome back. Glad to have you join us on Housing TV News at the hour. Now to the build sector. The Benue State Governor, Reverend Father Hyacinth Yomem Alia, has directed the Benue State Urban Development Board to take immediate action on the controversies surrounding the Makudi slaughterhouse on Awe Street. The board said it has assessed the area and will commence demolition of illegal structures. The directive follows allegation of a so-called human slaughterhouse operating in the area, which led to the arrest of 41 suspects earlier this month. The police reveals that the arrests were made based on social media reports, and investigations are ongoing. Residents have been advised to remove affected structures or face demolition in line with urban development regulations. Still in Benue State, the Deputy Governor of Benue State, Barrister Dr. Sam Ode, has inspected the ongoing road construction projects in Otukpo, assuring affected residents that compensation has been paid. Dr. Ode, who toured township roads from Wurukun roundabout to Orokam, said relocation costs for utilities and buildings impacted by the project have been fully settled. He further praised the federal government and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for sustaining road infrastructure development and commended the Minister of Works, Engineer David Umahi, for progress on the corridor. Meanwhile, the Deputy Governor also announced that contractors handling the Makudi Enugu dual carriage have been directed to move operations to Otukpo to accelerate completion. Away from the story, the Lagos State government says it will intensify efforts to address the state housing deficit with the delivery of new residential projects in 2026. The Commissioner for Housing, Moruf Akinderu Fatai, disclosed this while reviewing the ministry's performance in 2025, noting that completed schemes such as the Akinsaya Sani Ajoshi Housing Estate and Abraham Adeshanya housing estate reflect the government's commitment. He said public-private partnerships will be strengthened to scale housing delivery under the Themes Plus agenda. The Permanent Secretary Abdul Hafiz Toriola added that over 12,000 housing units have been delivered in the past 6 years with plans to significantly increase the figure. On the foreign scene, the United Kingdom and France are considering restrictions on children and teenagers' access to social media, following Australia's recent decision to ban under-16s from popular platforms. Supporters of the move say it is necessary to address worsening mental health among young people, while critics argue that evidence remains inconclusive. Meanwhile, France is currently debating legislation that could ban under-15s from using social media, a move backed by President Emmanuel Macron. Public health experts say while social media contributes to mental health challenges, particularly among adolescent girls, it is not the sole cause. And now, Finland is proposing stricter immigration rules that could see international students lose their residence permits if they receive basic social welfare support. The Ministry of Economic Affairs and Employment has opened consultations on a law allowing authorities to monitor welfare usage by non-EU and non-EEA students. However, under current regulations, international students are required to demonstrate sufficient financial means throughout their stay. The proposal aligns with Prime Minister Petteri Orpo's policy to tighten education-based immigration, with officials noting that Finland currently hosts about 76,000 international students. And that's the much we can take on Housing TV News at the top of the hour. But before we go, a recap of our top stories. Nigerian Army reaffirms professionalism in human rights commitment at Wasa in Niger State. Nigerian Air Force neutralizes terrorists in Borno, provides close air support to ground troops. Of the Benue governor orders action on Makuli slaughterhouse controversy. On the foreign scene, we told you that UK, France are considering social media ban for children and teenagers. For more news in the housing sector, do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Housing TV Africa, and follow Housing TV on all social media platforms. Download the Housing TV mobile app on your Google Play Store and Apple Store. Many thanks for watching. I am Dorcas Chia. Bye for now.